Hello, and welcome to another episode of Scavenger Life. This is episode number 460 at scavengerlife.com, as usual.
Ryan found out that I have a legal right to go through our refrigerator and question every single item in there as to whether it's going to be used.
Who told you had a legal right to do that?
It is legally binding. In the
I want to see the paperwork on that.
Ryan knows that I'm very much into anything in the fridge needs to be eaten or we just get rid of it.
Yes, and in this time of the pandemic, in my opinion, everything is getting eaten.
Good, yeah.
There are some things that are a little bit slower than others.
No, like 8-month hot sauce. Salsa.
Salsa.
Okay, anyway, so let's talk about reality. We are coming up with a 2020 plan. Because I'm just assuming with just checking out state and federal government reactions to this pandemic that there is really no clear safe vision for how we're all going to get back into the world. So the two of us have been just kind of talking about maybe we just need to think about like it's going to be the fall, maybe even all till the end of 2020 when things kind of get back to some kind of its normality.
Yeah, I mean, you hope that it's less than that, but I mean, we've been hearing on the news there's some states that are kind of opening back up, and then there's a lot of pushback for that because it's like the virus is still out there.
Well, we're going to see. I think Georgia is the first state where the governor is like, let's get back to business, and barbershops are opening and restaurants, and it's going to be interesting to see if people start to get sick again. I don't know. But it's interesting too. They've been doing they did one study in it's New York where they did 3,000 random tests where they went out and just grabbed random people and did the antibody test.
Yeah.
Antigen test. Anyway, to see
antibody
who had it. And they said, was it like 10% in different parts of the state had been higher. So actually, there were a lot more people that got the virus than they even knew about because we really don't have a lot of testing right now. So in some ways, that's kind of good because it means that it's been a lot more prevalent than we think it has, and the death rate isn't as high. That really the death rate seems to be hitting older and people who are. It's vulnerable, but it's...
Well, the other crazy thing about those numbers is that people had it, didn't know it, and had no symptoms. I mean, or had mild enough symptoms they thought they just had a cold and whatever.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Right.
I mean, it's like I think that so it's so different than the flu because when you get the flu, you know it.
Yeah.
Like, there is no doubt. So this, where you're like, any one of us could have had it and we might be okay...
This is not the pandemic podcast, but this is
is life, right?
We do run a business, and so this is stuff we talk about.
Right.
So a couple of the quick things, and then there was that thing, and where was it in LA or San Francisco, where they said that I look back, and the first person who died of the virus was like February, I think. Okay. So that it was actually in the population a lot sooner than we.
Yeah.
It knew it. So I'm not advocating one way or the other, but there is like Sweden where I think that they're still not on lockdown. I think that their government has decided to just like let life happen.
So what's going on there?
I mean, well, just so I think that their official policy is like herd
immunity.
Immunity, like just people get sick, and if you need to be careful, be careful. But like we're just going to let it get into the population and then just kind of get through it. So I don't know. Because really, it seems to me until there's a vaccine, it's just, that there's a good chance you're going to get sick if we just get back into everyone hanging out around each other.
Yeah, I think states are scared because it's sort of like, our country is not prepared to just shut everything off. Like, it just, how does the country work?
Right. Well, like, I mean, that's
no
why
one's making any money.
You have a lot of politicians here in America that are just kind of like, we just need to get back to it and just
right.
So sure. we'll see. I don't know. It's a really, like they say, may you live in interesting times, and we're definitely in those interesting times.
Right.
That's important for us, though, when whatever we get back to quote unquote normal, whatever that is. I mean, one of the businesses we have is rentals.
Yeah.
Vacation rentals, which we currently cannot rent by legal order from our county. And, when is that going to get turned back on? Because that is definitely a cost for us to keep those things operating.
I mean, those are base costs that do not go away. Right. Mortgage, and bills, insurance.
And I get it. That was in any business, there's always a risk, and that was our risk. But yeah.
Yeah, but see, the problem with that is all businesses assume risk, and usually we're talking about like low business times. Like, the house isn't getting rented as much.
Right.
Not the Zero. House is shut down by law.
Zero.
Like that is a different situation that is not usually ever accounted for.
Yeah.
So it's a different time. I was having a conversation with some other business owners, and it's sort of like, this is not something anyone was prepared for, where you're like, no, you're shut off by law. It's not like you're doing a bad job at business. Yeah. It's like you're not allowed to have your business, yet you still have to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, I think our carrying costs are about $1,000 a month for electricity, internet,
right,
insurance, all that on our property. So we did apply for that. Was it disaster loan relief?
Yeah, there's like a million names for it
through the SBA, and it's unfortunate, like we all heard on the news, where these giant corporations were getting millions of dollars out of that same fund because they kind of slipped through a loophole.
Well, the the paycheck program is the loophole that they.
That's right.
It's not necessarily a loophole, but they're like, Shake Shack has 10 employees at this one location, so we need
right. So I don't know. We'll see. We actually heard one scavenger that we talked to. She helped us. It was some QuickBooks stuff, which is very nice of her.
Yeah, that was awesome.
She said that she actually applied for that disaster loan for her eBay business, and they sent her $1,000. So
so people I've heard from a couple other people who are like, I got money in my bank account. So I'm hoping that does happen for us, because I did apply. Right. And like with our rental business is completely shut down. So anything we get helps cover those costs during this time.
But that's the thing though, if this keeps going, the government can't help people for that
forever, unless that's like part of our, yearly budget for the United States, which it isn't. It should be.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Universal basic income should become absolutely normal from now on.
So, talking about about eBay though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very grateful that we've built a large eBay inventory. I'm grateful for the consistency of which things keep selling.
Yep.
And have always sold for us since 2008, since we started selling on eBay. If we list it, things will always sell, it seems like.
The craziest thing.
I'm grateful that we know our numbers, I mean, even before this pandemic, I would always say, every week I know we need to make $1,000
right,
to kind of cover all of our costs for everything.
Yeah.
Because eBay kind of helps pay for our other business too. So I'm glad we know that. So it wasn't a surprise. I'm glad we live in our means.
Right.
And we've kind of always done that.
Yeah.
Even it's before this pandemic. And I'm also grateful that we've always bought in bulk.
Yes.
So we're really eating down on...
we're eating through our freezer.
Black beans and... Yeah. Our freezer food...
I'm making bread.
Flour. Yeah, it's been great. We have like fresh bread every 2 days. It's
amazing.
I love it.
I even started eating bread.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta eat. This is delicious.
So yeah, I mean so we're good.
I have to have the perspective, like, I'm super grateful that we have a great place to live. We have places we can walk outdoors. We have electricity and internet and running water. Like, we're fine. It sucks, but we're surviving. You know, there are a lot of people in the world that don't have these things. And there are a lot of people in the world that are sick. And we're not. So, got to be grateful for that.
And it will be interesting to see how the pandemic changes society. If all these people who are working at home, I mean, there's all these articles about it, like how many of these businesses are just going to be like, let's just keep doing this. Like, we've worked at home successfully. Like, let's just...
They eliminate commuting. They eliminate commercial rent, which too bad for the people who do have commercial buildings who, rent. But it is really interesting to be like, yeah, you can successfully run offices remotely and maybe meet up once a week or once every other week. I think that's fascinating.
I talked to one guy in the neighborhood, and he was saying, because he lives in Northern Virginia, about his buddies at their business that they have. They're talking about maybe getting rid of their office space.
Right.
Everyone will work from home, and then they just go in a rent.
Like a conference
room once a month.
Right.
And then everyone come in, meet up, do all that stuff. But and that also means that, like, we've always been advocates for this. What if more people move to a rural areas?
Yeah.
I mean, I've always said, if you take an urban area, wherever you are, and if you go 2 hours outside and you do a big...
Like a radius, a circle radius.
You can find such affordable real estate for the most part. Not every, like New York, maybe not, but like for a lot of, and 2 hours in America is not very far. I mean, if you need to go into that urban area every week, every couple weeks,
it's not bad.
But there's all these little tiny towns that are in that 2 hour circle where you can find super affordable.
I mean, we did that. Yeah. That's what we did, and we've been advocating for it forever. That's where we are right now. But it's just cool to hear that, where people are like, oh, like our neighbor, he has a weekend house here or whatever, a summer house. And he's like, oh, we got hooked up with the faster internet, and I work from here when I can. And it's just great.
Our neighborhood this past, was about a year ago, we got Comcast, and it's just really transformed the way we are in our house, because we have fast internet.
I have faster internet than some people in the city, which is, it's not fiber, but it's pretty fast. So that does make it really possible to actually have real working possibilities, career possibilities out here.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. eBay. So some things people were talking about on the forum were, we've complained about this too. There is no way on eBay that's easy to see a history of offers, It's weird because so this morning I had someone say, hey, would you take this much for this item? And I wanted to send them an offer, but I think there was already an offer out for them because I send offers in the morning through that new way of doing it. Send offers, I guess that's what it's called. Mm-hmm. And I was also like, oh, did I send this person an offer? Is that why they're asking for like a counter offer? So I look on the page and it's just like this gobbledygook mess of like numbers and like hidden usernames without dates. You're like, did I send this person an offer or not? Yeah, like
it's a mess.
I don't know why they hide the username.
I have no idea.
Yeah, like
I mean, I get. So here's one thing. So if you send offers to watchers, they maybe don't want that information to see who's watching it,
Yeah,
but at the same time, maybe they could anonymize those, but the offers that people sent you directly.
So let's talk about what I think we all want.
It's weird.
What would be helpful?
Yeah.
Is that I have an item.
Yes.
And there would be since eBay's now all into offers, I mean, they're encouraging offers.
I love it.
There should be a simple link that I can click on that shows me a history of the offers I've sent, the offers I've gotten.
Right.
And, I mean, I should be able to see what those are. And I should see the name of the person. So if someone sent me an offer for $10,
right,
I should see that person's,
especially if they sent the offer. If it's like you sent offers to watchers, maybe not. If they want to anonymize that, who cares?
Split it out. Offers sent to me, offers I've sent to people. I mean, so that way you can just kind of know what ballpark it is. Yeah, because if this person's like, hey, would you take this? I'd love to see where we've been.
Right. Am I offering part of the issue is someone will say, hey, will you take this much? And you're like, oh, did I offer lower before? So it would just be nice to know, to see the history, because if someone has been lowballing you, maybe you don't want to deal with that person. Or if they have been sending okay offers in the past and now you're ready to say, I'd take $40 for that thing. It'd just be nice to know. And it's really hidden right now, and it's really confusing. When you get to that page, you're like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
How do you even get to that page?
So if you look on the item page, there is a link up top that says review offers. Not always. It's not always there. But I think if there's an active offer happening, it's because that guy asked me, will you take this much? So I looked on that page and it said review offers, and I clicked on it. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen it where you can click on manage offers.
Is that what it is? It's called manage offers.
But then, like you said, then there's just kind of a sidebar where the names are blanked out with like a number. And also it's not clear, did I send that? Did they send it to me?
Who sent that offer?
Exactly.
It's unclear. So it would be really helpful if they clean that up, for sure.
The other thing was, I think it was Timo was talking about Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Have you had this problem where someone wanted to buy something and they were like blocked from buying, and then he looked in his rules, and Puerto Rico is actually kind of a hidden country within a category he wasn't expecting?
Well, the category was Central and South America, and you're like, Puerto Rico is a United States territory, therefore they get USPS and should not be categorized as international.
Right.
So I think I looked at those settings, like I dug down. I don't even know where I was. I was like, I don't know how I found this page. Someone linked to it on the forum, thank goodness. And I checked to see if that was checked off, and it wasn't. So
people can buy from us.
Yeah, and I sell to Puerto Rico quite frequently, so it's been okay. But it's a weird, you're like, why is that in there? That's so annoying.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird things. Something I noticed, I don't know if it's something new. So when I go to my eBay, so the my eBay page, I guess it's Seller Hub, I feel like there's a new link on the right-hand side in the corner. It'll say in messages, then comments, and then there's a new link, Seller Help. And when you click on Seller Help, it gives you like request assistance to remove feedback, appeal a defect, report an issue of the buyer.
I wonder if this was going to happen and they stepped it up because there's no phone. Where is it? Seller Help. Comments? What the heck is that?
You can comment like, I don't like this page.
Oh, I see. Like this page is, it's like feedback. I could talk about offers.
So that's just interesting because I know we've been having a lot of people come on the forum and complain that they're having trouble contacting eBay.
Yeah.
And the way we know how is you can email them, right?
Well, I have Anchor support, so I have a special email that I don't know if they'll respond to everyone, but I have that email.
How long does it take for them to email you?
Like a day.
Okay. And then there's the Facebook.
It's eBay for Business. If you just Google it, eBay for Business Facebook, you'll find it. And they've been helpful to a lot of people, and they've been helpful to me. So that's another, like, a little bit quicker way.
Because I guess the problem is, they don't have, or it's not safe for people to be in a building, like in a
call center.
So I don't know why more companies don't do that thing. I think it's Southwest or one of those airlines.
Where people work from home as a call center.
Where they just hire, like, moms who want to be at home, but then they have like a little office in their house, and
we say that because we know someone who works for Southwest who's a mom.
Right. I mean,
I'm sure there's people who aren't moms also who work for Southwest.
Right, but it's perfect for people who
they can work at home.
Like, is that a bad thing to say about moms?
Like moms.
I like the idea of moms helping on travel. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, I also don't understand why eBay doesn't have a chat. Like, what a perfect thing for eBay, where you're like, can you just look at this transaction and like tell me if I can get the feedback removed, et cetera, and they could be like yes or no. Like, why do I have to be on the phone with someone? Just have a chat.
Yeah.
They used to have it a long time ago, and then they got rid of it, which to me is insane.
Yeah.
I think every company... I mean, I guess Facebook is kind of like chat, but you're like, why can't I just do chat on eBay?
I would love to know... I'm sure eBay would never share this, but like a company like eBay, how many like requests are they getting per hour? You know? Like is it like 100,000 calls per hour? Is it like 5,000? You know,
is it like 20 per hour? Like, how? I mean, obviously per country, like United States, like how many people are like calling eBay?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Well, the Facebook eBay for Business Facebook thing is kind of like chat, but there are some people in the world who don't have Facebook accounts, which was me for like 10 years. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Amatino. She's on our
Is that how you say her name?
Amatino.
I feel like I say it wrong all the time.
Because it's strange. People have these names on our forum, and I see them all the time. I read them all the time, so I feel like I know them, but I never say it out loud. So it's funny when I actually. Yeah. Anyway, she was saying that eBay now has a new package that you can buy. You know, a new
shipping supply
for magazines. And it's like a mail jacket envelope.
Yeah, it's like I ordered some of them just because I was like, I'll try these out because I sell magazines and periodicals and weird stuff like that all the time. So it's nice to have. It looks to me like kind of a thick, rigid cardboard envelope.
And it's 9 by 11.5.
9 by 11, yeah. So that basically like 9 by 12.
Right.
And I like, though, we were talking about poly mailers. We had some conversation about how poly mailers are all plastic. And then people were linking to this, like, hey, this is actually like, it's, you know, fully recyclable, biodegradable paper, cardboard. Yeah. I would love it if we could get to a point where we could have like poly mailers that were like paper, because that's the one thing that kills me about eBay shipping supplies is like it's all plastic. You know, I mean, not the boxes clearly, but the poly mailers, which I use all the time. I use poly mailers so much because I have a lot of soft goods that can just go in.
Well, I mean, I think this is like a bigger issue in general when people just talk about plastic, you know, like the nightmare that people are like finding pieces of plastic like 10 miles down in the ocean, the deepest depths of it. It's like it's getting everywhere because this stuff is so... Plastic it
doesn't break down.
It's so awesome.
Right.
But that's one of the problems.
It's so durable.
For when you're just using it a single time, like a little plastic.
Or even 4 times. Yeah, it just doesn't go away.
Like, you know, we're planning, crazy enough, we're planning to do this coffee shop. And you know, we're trying to see, like, what kind of supplies can we get? Where you know, like our dream would be, everything would be compostable. So there's no trash. Or it wouldn't be like a trash can.
There's no trash, yeah.
You throw it in there and everything could be put into like, we know like farmers here, like people that do big gardens, we could like take it compost. And it would be a massive compost. Paper, you know, all that stuff. And not like industrial composting.
Right. So a lot of times you'll go to like, you know, places that serve food and they're like, this is a compostable plastic fork, but it's only compostable in industrial compost bins. I don't know where those
I guess it's got to get really hot or something like that, but it's not going to be.
But it's not your backyard compost.
Right.
There are things that you can buy that are backyard compostable, like little bamboo forks and stuff like that. So they're much more expensive than plastic, clearly, but So, we've been researching that. Side note, I did want to talk about the 4x4x4 eBay shipping box.
Let's talk about it.
I did order the rest of my eBay supplies. If you haven't done it, the second quarter just started on April 1st, so you'll have your coupon. You can go to where'sthecoupon.com.
And that's if you have a...
if you have a store. Sorry. If you have a store subscription, you can go get your free supplies. So, I had ordered the 4x4 boxes. I forget.
Are those weird ones? That are hard to...
Remember, I was like trying to fold it, and I was like, I have no idea how anybody... Once you know how to do it...
It's easy.
It's super easy. Yeah. I've used them like 4 times and I'm actually like, I need to order more of these because I know you were like, coffee mugs. Look, coffee mugs don't fit in there.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, because you don't ship. So you're like, it would be great for look, if it was a small coffee mug, you could use it as the first shell, which I'm not going to do.
It's like the perfect size if you were to ship a muffin to somebody. So if you sold a muffins, like blueberry muffin, right? It'd be perfect for that.
Yeah, it's about that size. But it's good because I do sell weird little small things like that.
Gewgaws.
Yeah, totally gewgaws that I'm like, this needs to be in a box and I need a weird small box. I've been using them. So they are good. They're weird. They're almost like a gift box where you'd like give someone a gift instead of like wrapping tape all over it.
It's like a Christmas ornament.
Yeah, a Christmas ornament box. That's a perfect way to describe it. But so they're weird because they don't feel like shipping boxes. You're like, I'm going to ship in this, but it doesn't feel like it's supposed to be shipped.
Or like an apple.
An apple, yes. A blueberry muffin or an apple. Or any flavor muffin,
or
really.
Or like a nice sized hamster. You could probably, you know? Okay, good.
What did you cook this week? That's the...
What? Hamster?
No.
We're gonna...
No, I was talking about muffins because you mentioned muffins. So I was like, we're going to have to talk about that.
Inventory. So we are...
book
inventory. We talk about it. So we have books, which we really don't sell a lot of.
But we do sell them.
Yeah. I feel like maybe
enough.
And we don't have that many books. Maybe 300 books?
I mean, max 300.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. Yeah. So, and we've never had a good inventory.
No.
They're really just kind of like stacked up. And so we actually bought shelving.
That did come on Amazon, thank goodness.
So it's hard to like explain it. But basically at the end of all of our rows of shelves,
there's a room.
We bought like a bookshelf that then I strapped on with, what do you call this?
Ties.
Yeah.
Zip ties.
So it's good and solid. And so we're going to stack books on all these little tiny shelves.
They're like wire shelves.
And then put like a number and... Yeah. So we need to do that. We put them together. The shelves are there. We now just need to stack all the books and then you go through and give it an inventory number. Yeah,
so that's actually super helpful because whenever I sell something that doesn't have an inventory number now, I'm like, where could that be?
Right. It's transformed our life.
It does not exist.
Yeah.
I do end up finding stuff, but it's usually big stuff on a shelf.
Is it hard to imagine the fact that we went for a decade? More than a decade without an inventory system?
I can't. I mean, I know why we didn't do it because we're like, well, we have too many things now. But it was worth it. Oh my God.
What was it called? There was just too much momentum, inertia. Like we had already grown our store so big that without an inventory, we can't go backwards. It's just like, let's just keep going. Like we're fine. Yeah. So anyway.
But honestly, like when we were giving our helper inventory bins to inventory, and she was going through them so fast that we were like, we should just do this. Yeah. So I was. So it was actually kind of satisfying when you got through a bin. You'd be like, those all have numbers. Yep. As soon as something sells, I'll know exactly where it is. Like,
and the best advice we ever got from people who are hearing this, and multiple people told us this, was just start with what you're doing now. So instead of keep taking pictures and putting stuff on the shelf, like start with a new stuff and then work your way backwards.
And you can do that.
We kind of did that.
I will tell you this, it was a pain.
Yeah.
And it's still kind of a pain when I'm putting stuff out for my helper to take photos of. And
because why?
Because I'm like, every single thing needs a number. If it's delicates and it's not in a bin, I got to go, like, before she gets here, go out to the shelves, be like, okay, these, and I just write it down. I bring a list. Okay, right. I have this big wooden bowl. It's going on this shelf 4B. Yep. I put a little note on it. This is going on 4B. Yep. Because what else can you do?
But that amount of time is not as much as
searching for
if
something.
It was just put up there and search. Yeah,
exactly. So you put the time in the beginning, and then in a month when that thing sells, or a year or 2 years, when that thing sells, you're like, there it is. Yeah. It's where I said it was going to be, you know? Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go one more thing before we do our numbers, if people are interested. If not, that they can zone out on this part. So we've talked about we're going to start this coffee shop. Yep. We're also, as part of that, we're going to do a roastery where we're going to roast coffee beans.
Yep.
And one of the things we talked about it 6 months ago, 4 months ago, I don't know, where we said that we bought the biggest and most expensive thing we've ever bought on eBay.
It was the roaster.
And that was a roaster. It's a 15 kilogram roaster, and it's huge.
It's a beast.
We bought it from some guy in California that was kind of dumping it.
Yep.
These things are worth $30,000 or more, and we got it for $8,000. 7,500.
75 plus 2,000 shipping.
Plus, we had to ship it from California to here, so we had to like hire a guy on.
Uship?
Yep.
It was uship.com.
It was like $2,000.
Thank God.
Because it weighs about a ton. And
it weighs about a ton.
And it's in our back building. So, and then we bought this small building in our town that we're fixing up right now.
Yep. And you're doing a very good job.
Thank you. And that a roaster. So we're about another month before this building is fully renovated, insulated, electric, propane, and we're going to get this roaster in there, and we're going to see if it works.
Look, we have plugged it in.
Yeah.
We plugged it in. Look, listen to me. There's the electric part of it, and then there's the gas part of it. Yeah. We've plugged the electric in and it works.
Right.
Gas is just plugging that gas in and making sure it goes.
It's a fairly simple device. But the good thing is I've actually contacted the guy that built it because it's kind of
it's a custom made.
It's an artisan's thing. So worse comes to worse.
We get him.
He's willing to come out here, although who knows now in the pandemic, but he's willing to come and service it. So it's all good. But that's kind of the other part of our business. That's our next big thing. So
right.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that runs a business right now, it's tough. Like, how much do you turtle up and just shut everything down and just wait it out? And how much do you kind of have hope in the future and just try and keep going?
Like, move forward for the future. I mean, those are conversations we literally have every single day where we're just like, our rentals are shut down and that's what was going to pay for all that.
Right.
And so we're just moving much slower. Right. We're like, what can we afford this week at that building?
Right. Like, how much of our budget are we willing to spend on this future project? So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about our eBay numbers. So this week we sold 53 items.
It felt like that.
Yeah. We made $1,778.94. That's our gross sales without shipping costs.
Yeah, shipping is separate.
Which is funny. Like, when I look at our numbers, eBay gives them to you. If you look at your numbers, let me see, from last week, when they add, because really, eBay considers the cost you get for postage as
what, income?
A profit as income, and then taxes. It's like $2,400, but actually to us it's like $1,700.
But I spent all that on
right,
of course.
And then all of those taxes come in through us and then go right back out. So it's crazy. So yeah, it was a good week. I mean, this is, again, stronger than it was a year ago at this time.
It was stronger than it was before the pandemic. Right. It was really slow.
It is nice, although, we didn't sell any of like the $500 items we did a week ago that shot up our costs. So
that rug that I shipped, thank goodness, got to the person, got delivered, and she left positive feedback.
Oh, good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's a great sale.
So some of the things we sold, our highest dollar items was a poster. We sold a Van Halen poster.
Original Van Halen from
Anybody
1984.
From 1984. We sold it for $100. We were trying to ask for $500. And we kept getting, $20, whatever offers, and then finally someone offered $100.
And I was like, yes, I will take $100 for this Van Halen poster.
Yep. I can remember being with one of my best friends in like 5th grade when that came out. Probably around that time. And his family had like a conversion van. Those ones with like a TV in the back and like carpet inside.
My mom had a conversion van.
That's so awesome. And like
didn't have a TV.
And like had a bed in the back.
Yeah. My mom had a bed.
And his dad would like crank up 1984.
Van Halen.
Oh my God, it's so awesome.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we sold another Juggalo hat. ICP.
Insane Clown Posse. That was $100.
$100.
Oh, I love that sale.
I don't know how many of those hats
there are 6 more left. Yeah. 6 more! How many did we had so many of them?
I bought a box for, I think they're 30 or something. I paid, it's $50.
I thought you paid $80 for it.
Maybe it was 80. I thought it was 50. Anyway.
It was 80.
But
it was worth it.
Yep.
That's for sure. I sold another poster too.
Yeah. Keep it up.
Not keep it up. Hang on, baby.
Oh, yeah.
It said, hang on, baby, because that's like, if you look up on Wikipedia, that was like a trend.
It's like a little kitten.
It's a kitten.
Hanging off of a branch.
And it said, hang on, baby, Friday's coming. It was so cheesy.
And it's from the 80s.
The 70s. So, I think we sold it for $65. Like,
you did.
I guess because people are like stuck in their houses, they're like, I need cool artwork.
Yeah. Or they're buying a present for a friend or something.
That's true.
But we also had that poster up for like $300 and we sold it.
I sold one of the original Hang On Babies. It's not the original because the original's like black and white. But a few years ago for several $100s. Yeah. So I like keep an eye out for those.
We sold a roll of wallpaper.
Yes.
For $80.
$80, yep. A 1970s like bicentennial, like it's got an eagle and
please don't send it back.
Oh God, please don't send it back. $80. I was so happy. We've had that for so long.
But most of our sales were just super duper long tail items.
Very long tail items.
And it's just one of those things where we never know what will sell, but something sells every day. And I mean, we're selling
so strange.
8-9 things a day this week.
I did have a theory, a hypothesis
8 things this week,
the other week, because I had sold a couple different like tea sets from Japan and little like teacups and saucers, and I'm like, this is so weird. I do sell stuff like this, but these were like super particular designs, and I sold two sets of them, and I was thinking, and they're both in Florida. I was thinking that these might be the people who shop casually for themselves at estate sales, and estate sales are closed right now. I mean, we as scavengers shop at estate sales for inventory,
right.
But there's a huge population of people, I would say a majority of people that shop at estate sales are buying stuff for themselves.
True.
So if estate sales are closed, they're looking for antique tea sets, et cetera, weird stuff on eBay. Yeah. So that genre of shopping has moved to eBay. It should always be on eBay, but people don't want to pay shipping and whatever.
I can see that. Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking with sales like that.
Yeah. Scavenger of the week, we buy a handful of things at some online auctions.
A couple things here and there.
I've been thinking about, because we still are working on some boxes of stuff we had We
from an auction like a month.
We haven't eaten on all that inventory, so we have probably another couple of weeks of inventory to take pictures of. So I'm thinking about doing another big buy. It just means I might have to, go an hour or two to go pick it up. So which kind of stinks, but we'll see. And our helper who got the full-time job, she doesn't start till June sometime.
So we're trying to get her to do all this stuff we have in a backlog.
And we're hoping we can get her to at least, if she wants to make some extra cash, to maybe do still a little bit for us.
But what's the alternative?
Oh no,
you who are taking photos, or me?
No, me.
Depending on who's busier with whatever project.
It would probably be me. I would go back to taking pictures, which I can do. It's just, man, it is so. I forget how it's changed our eBay business, where we can just go and buy boxes of weird items and just put them out for her, and she just does it all.
She just cranks through it.
Yeah.
Well, you were saying, we have to look at stuff and be like, do we really want to sell this thing? I mean, I think we're pretty good at that now. Like there was a handful of things I got rid of last week where I'm like, this is not store worthy.
Yeah. Well, it's just tough. I mean, especially you're willing to sell anything. And it really is a fine line between, like, if it doesn't have a brand.
Yeah. If it's not good material.
Feel well made. It doesn't have a particular style that, it's just like, it's almost like you have to imagine, how am I going to sell this on eBay? Like, what's
what am I going to call it? Yeah.
But just like a piece of glass. It's
like there was this pressed glass bowl thing. This is like prime example. And you're like, it's just junky pressed glass with no name on it, no color. Like, it probably just came from Marshall's 20 years ago. Like, I'm just going to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, again, we're into long tail. I'm willing to hold on to it for 5 years. I mean, that's okay. But there has to be some hook.
Yeah, there's something that's special about it.
You're going to catch a certain person out there that's doing a certain kind of search. You don't want to have like this online thrift store. It like as if you go to a real thrift store. There's just piles of junk,
Yeah.
But again, who's to say?
What's junk? But look, everybody has their own interests, and there's some things that I'm like, I wouldn't buy that, but I think somebody might. And then there's other things where you're like, this should just go to the thrift store.
So customer issues. I mean, this isn't a customer issue; it's maybe our issue, and this is probably me. I bought 2 of these like Izod, was it the alligator shirts?
Yeah.
It said made in France.
We were like, these are genuine.
And the guy bought both of them.
Yeah.
It was like $70, $80 or something. And then he got them and he said that they were counterfeit. And
they're fake.
Sent us a link that shows why it's counterfeit. And he was absolutely right. So he sent them back.
Well, it sucks because it's not like someone doesn't like it, they send it back, you resell it. I'm like, I got to get rid of these.
Yeah.
Like, I can't sell it to somebody else.
And, maybe I was a little bit too strict. He was like, I'll keep them if you give me half my money back. So we could have actually saved some money. But I didn't believe him that they were counterfeit at first. I just thought he was trying to fish for some money.
I accepted the return because I thought that he was fishing for money.
Right.
So I accepted the return, and then I looked at the link and I was like, oh, he's right. These are definitely fake.
Yeah. So
that sucked. Yeah. But
it happens.
Yeah. That was a bummer.
Okay. Let's go to the questions or comments that people sent in this week.
Okay, you can email us an audio file. Our email is thescavengerlife@gmail.com. Or you can call our voicemail line. The phone number is 540-407-8486. You have 3 minutes to leave a message.
Hello, Ryan and Jay. This is Patty from Michigan. I have an issue that I was hoping you could help me with. Say you have a listing that has several different shipping options offered. A buyer makes you an offer that you accept. Then when you pull up the invoice, it has all the different shipping options listed. I haven't been able to figure out how to select the option that I want. Does that make sense to you? Maybe I'm overthinking it. The other question I have is, when you block a buyer from your listings, are they still able to see your listings? Are they still able to see your name as a seller, or is everything blocked from them like you didn't exist? I was just wondering how that worked. Thank you very much for your podcasts. I look forward to them every week. Bye.
Okay, so the first part of this question seems a little bit...
Hello, Patty.
Hi, Patty. The first part of this question seems a little bit confusing, where she's saying, someone buys something and makes an offer and whatever, and you're sending an invoice, and there's at least 2 different shipping options, maybe, if that's what you've chosen in your, shipping policies or whatever. She's saying which one would she choose, but it's the buyer that gets to choose the price.
Right.
You can show 2, 3, 4 different options for shipping, and then when the buyer pays the invoice, they'll see those options and they'll choose one. It's not me that chooses it.
Right, and that's a frustrating thing that eBay has about the offers, is that if someone makes an offer, you then have to wait for them to complete the transaction. And part of that completion is they have to choose which way they want it to be shipped. So you just have to wait. You can't speed that process up. Yeah, so
in terms of choosing shipping, they're the ones that choose it.
Yep.
The second part of the question is, if you block a buyer, does it block them from seeing your listings? No, it does not block them from seeing your listings. It's funny. It's like blocking a buyer basically makes it so that they cannot buy your items. They can still see your items. And sometimes they can still message you, even though they're not supposed to be able to. Sometimes they're able to still message you. So I don't really understand exactly how it works, although you should be able to get them. If they've already bought something from you, they can pay for that item and they can still message you. But in terms of them seeing your stuff, they can see it. They can see everything on eBay still.
And obviously, I'm not trying to think through any kind of real problem, but, if you're having a problem where someone's being abusive or a real problem, then it's not just blocking them. Then you can report them to eBay, and then, hopefully.
The problem is you can't just report any users to eBay. I think you can only report them if they bought something from you. You can't just report random users. There's no way to do that.
Gotcha.
Which I think is crazy, because we've gotten messages from people that are super rude, or they're swearing at us, and you want to be like, eBay, please look at this person's account, but there's no way to do it. I mean, I don't know of any way. I guess you could send an email to the help section or something.
But the main thing is blocking buyers. They can't buy from you anymore, and that's the real power. Because then they can't buy something and fool around and give you problems.
I mean, we've had issues where you'll block someone, someone's asking a million questions and they want very specific shipping and they want assurances of such and such, and you're like, I don't want to sell to this person, and then they get another username and they buy it anyway. I'm thinking of this very particular jacket. It was a jean jacket, a $20 jean jacket that this woman just had to have, and finally she bought it and she didn't cause us any problems, but so you can only do so much. That's it for the calls.
Cool. That is it for this week. I hope everyone is safe and sound and, enjoying your time together inside. You can go to our forum if you're bored at scavengerlife.com.
Or if you're not bored.
Forum. That's where we're all hanging out. We encourage you to come on and introduce it yourself, because that's really where we all get to know who you are. And we like to ask each other questions about how we're selling things and how we got started. You can leave a question or comment like you just heard from Patty on our voicemail line.
The phone number is 540-407-8486.
Okay, we post an episode every Monday morning.
Or Sunday
night.
If I'm fast.
Yep. And Wednesdays, our friend Steve will post a video of what he sold that week. So
yes,
you can.
Very informative.
If you're new, it's really interesting to kind of see, the thing that people are buying. It's good to see. Okay, and as you guys all know, if you're interested in buying some coffee, some good specialty coffee, that you can buy from our partners and friends at broadporch.coffee.
broadporch.coffee.
Yep.
If you ordered the other week and got it really fast and then you ran out, you should subscribe.
Yep. And they ship real fast. Anyway, this podcast is ending in 3, 2, 1.
Bye.